This is Judith, chapter 7, Bethulia under siege, the campaign against Israel. The following day, Holofernes issued orders to his whole army and to the whole host of auxiliaries who had joined him to break camp and march on to Bethulia to occupy the mountain passes, and so opened the campaign against the Israelites. The troop broke camp the same day. The actual fighting force numbered 120,000 infantry, 12,000 cavalry, not to mention the baggage train and the vast number of men on foot concerned with that. They penetrated the valley in the neighborhood of Bethulia near the spring and deployed on a wide front from Dothan to Baalbaim and in depth from Bethuel to Cinnamon, which faces on Esdraelon. When the Israelites saw the horde, they were appalled and said to each other, "Now they will lick the whole country clean. Not even the loftiest peaks and gorges or the hills will be able to stand the weight of them." Each man snatched up his arms, and they lit beacons on the towers and spent the whole night on watch. On the second day, Holofernes deployed his entire cavalry in the sight of the Israelites in Bethulia. He reconned the slopes leading up to the town, located the water points, seized them, posted pickets over them, and returned to the main body. The chief of the sons of Esau, the leaders of the Moabites, and the generals of the coastal district then came to him and said, "If our master will please listen to us, his forces will not sustain a single word. The Israelites do not rely so much on their spears as on the height of the mountains where they live, and admittedly it is not at all easy to scale these heights of theirs. This being the case, master, do not engage them in a pitched battle, and then you will not lose a single man. Stay in camp, keep all your troops there too, and while your servant sees the spring which rises at the foot of the mountain, since that is what provides the population of Bethuel their water supply, thirst will then force them to surrender their town. Meanwhile, we and our men will climb the nearest mountaintops and form advanced posts there to prevent anyone from leaving the towns. Hunger will waste them with their wives and children before the sword can reach them. They will already be lying in the streets outside their houses, and you will make them pay dearly for their defiance and their refusal to meet you peaceably." Their words pleased Holofernes and as well as his officers, and he decided to do as they suggested. Accordingly, a troop of Moabites moved forward with a further 5,000 Assyrians, and they penetrated the valley, seized the Israelites' water points and springs. Meanwhile, the Edomites and the Ammonites went and took up positions in the highland opposite Dothan, sending some of their men to the southeast opposite Engrembel, near Choas on the Wadi Molchmer. The rest of the Assyrian army took up positions in the plain, covering every inch of the earth. Their tents and equipment made the immense encampment, so vast were their numbers. The Israelites called on the Lord their God, dispirited because the enemy had surrounded them and cut all line of retreat. For 34 days, the Assyrian army, infantry, chariots, cavalry had them surrounded. Every water jar the inhabitants of Bethuel had was empty. Their wells were drying up, and on no day could a man quench his thirst since the water was rationed. Their little children pined away. The women and young men grew weak with thirst. They collapsed in the streets and the gateways of the town. They had no strength left. Young men, women, children, the whole people thronged, clamoring round Uzziah and the chief men of the town, shouting in the presence of the assembled elders, "May God be the judge between you and us, for you have done us great harm by not suing for peace with the Assyrians, and now there is no one to help us. God has delivered us into their hands to be prostrated before them in thirst and helplessness. Call them at once." Had the whole town over to be sacked by Holofernes' men and his army. After all, we should be much better off as their booty than we are now. No doubt we shall be enslaved, but at least we'll be alive, and not see our little ones dying before our eyes, or our wives and cherished children perishing. By the heaven and earth and our God, the Lord of our fathers, who is punishing us for our sins and the sins of our ancestors, we implore you to take this course now today. Bitter lamentation arose from the whole assembly, and they all cried loudly to the Lord their God. Then Uzziah spoke to them, "Take heart, brothers. Let us hold out 5 days more. By then the Lord our God will take pity on us. He will not desert us altogether. At the end of this time, if there is no help forthcoming, I will do what you've said." With that, he dismissed the people to their various quarters. The men went to man the walls and the tower of the towns, sending the women and the children home. The town was full of despondency.